Are you guys ready? Because this is about where it's going to get ugly, and I'm about ready to bend history over like a bitch. So let's get it straight with our trusted, trusted institutions. In 1883, Salida, no longer South Arkansas, was growing in three directions from the river. All right, so let's. I just wanted to give you that. So let's go into this picture. We'll blow it up right here, and we'll look at it. Monte Cristo Hotel was put in 1883, and that. So, okay, so they're saying that this one is in 1883. All right, let's blow this one up. Now this one, if we go in here, we can see the hotel's not here. So this is earlier. So this has to be 1880 because they didn't get the railroad till 1880. So we can also see that there's no modifications to the train depot. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken this picture and I've just lightened it up a little bit so you can see what is there. I don't know why it wants to fight me. As you can see right here, it's oops, you can see the houses right there. So this is definitely son of a. All right, give me the picture back. All right, there you are. All right, so try round two. And you can basically, I don't know why I did that again. Sometimes. All right, there we go. Got that sucker back up. So you can see that is the exact same picture, just lightened up. And the other is I cut off half of the mountain. But that was just to get it lightened up and to get it where I could use it for what I needed it for. So, because I needed most detail on this, because this is where we're going to watch the time fuckery. And I'm talking, there's some time fuckery like no other. All right, so let's close this out. Let's go back, and I really want to emphasize. So like I said, I've been using my Twitter page to kind of give you guys where you can go and some of the stuff that I've basically covered and discussed. And yeah, it's when you figure this out, you're gonna shit your fucking pants. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so let's start going into details. Let's back this one out again. All right, so in here, like I said, you can go into my drives and you can look it up for yourselves. You can go to the actual website, verify the pictures, and I'll have a oh, what I want to say. And this tree, we're gonna come back to this tree for sure. So let's see here. Drive. All right, so let's go into the drive here. We'll go to share files, and we're gonna go in back into Colorado State, Colorado, and then right here I have timeline and early Salida pictures, and you can see the time change in the buildings. And then it loaded it really weird, so I wanted to show you this. It's a work in progress. Okay, so these side by side, these are the time ones, and I'm gonna go through these. And that picture that I showed you earlier with the double, I'm gonna go through that with you right now. Let me use the ones that are actually in my drive, my personal drive on the computer, because it's going to be a little bit easier to go through. And I try to organize them as best I can by the years and dates and so forth. But so I went through them, as best I could to kind of give you guys an insight. Some of them I put with others that, were obviously not correct order, but to give you an idea of what it is to time jump, from photograph to photograph and from basically what I would like to call century from century. Because when you see this and what I'm going to show you, there's no way in the world they could pull this off in the amount of time that they did. So 1820 or 1880 is when they got the train. And I've already proven that I have a picture earlier than anything without the hotel. Okay, so let me pull that up. Okay, so I pulled up my pictures to show you these, and let's go back. And like I said, you're going to have to do history, read up on it, depends on when they got electricity and stuff and all of it. When you read it, you're going to see the conflicting bullshit stories. Salida, this one is huge. They had underground water pipes already put in by 1883. So, from what they're saying, 1880 to now was just basically just a boom crazy of building, and yeah. So let's tear this apart. Honestly, let's really tear this apart because I'm about ready to make history, my bitch, for sure. All right, so if we go back into these photographs, like I said, they're identical. I just lightened it up a little bit so that way you could kind of see it. It's not as good as the original, but that way you guys can see more of it without, you know, and you could go through these, but this was the easiest way I could explain this to people to show them. All right, so I took multiple screenshots with this. So let's watch as time progresses. As you can see, there is an island here with the tree on it. There's an island here with the tree on it. You can see the growth. The tree looks a little more bigger in this picture. And then this is the huge one, Monte Cristo, the hotel. And you can see this little building here and this building right here, this H-looking cross type house. This right here is very important because it's going to stay there. And you'll notice this little guard shack behind the building. And there's a cattle fence out here and, so forth. I want you to notice there's no train depots or anything of right here, right nature. So you come over to this one. And this one is supposed to be of 83 is what they said, or 1880. And so this, where there's just barely a little building, this okay, so let's draw on it. This dormer right here is what they call those on the roof where it's got the windows. And we can see 3 windows right here, close. We're going to watch that. We also see a building built here next to the hotel. Still see the island. And let's go back over to this one. We have a bunch of housing right here that you can't see in the photograph. But you can also see where they added some more buildings right here on Main Street. This building for sure right there. And then they added another building to this one right here. And you can see it right here. So these would I be assuming are the original buildings that were on Main Street that supposedly caught fire twice and burned them all to the ground. Okay, next one. This one is of 1880. They're saying this one is 1880. So we'll look here and you can obviously see that there is no hotel right here. There is a little house right here and we still have the island with the tree on it. And we have no dormer on the top. And we see the buildings and stuff. So, and then we see a little house over here and we still see housing along the river that you have right here. And this is the original one that I have. So these 2 pictures are probably the oldest 2 pictures that I can find of Salida, Colorado. And you can see where they added buildings and so forth. Okay, so let's really keep an eye on the train station because it's very important. Obviously, we've got the little guard shack and we have another little building back here. You can see the tip of it right there. So let's continue on. Okay, so another different angle. Like I said, this picture will remain the same throughout this, but this picture will change. Okay, so I'm looking at this one and this one is way out of line. So you can see that they changed the depot. And remember, we ain't even to the 1900s. This all started in 1800. I'm assuming that these are the original houses And then the ones along the river here were the original homesteaders way long ago. This has probably been going on for, probably a couple hundred years. Okay, and I'll prove this. Trust me, I can prove it. So we can see the dormer on the top. We can see the awning on the train depot, and this one is actually way later. So they got rid of the little guard shack, and they built another little building behind it in the background. You notice in this one we don't have any trees, but this is where it gets really cool and interesting, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I have them dead to rights. There's no way out of this. I have evidence that they have reset this fucker. All right, let's continue on. I've tried to put these in a way to... So, here we go. The original picture, like I said, the one I could find the earliest of. And then this one is about 45, because they put this train depot in 1941. And I want you to look at all the buildings and everything. And a lot of people would believe this story and say, yeah, I believe it, because that's what we're told. But I want you to think about that. 80 years... In 1880 is when the train got to Salida. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. I've lived in Colorado my whole life. I've worked as a construction guy. I know what it's like to go through the mountains in the winter. I know what it's like to work in the mountains in the winter. And you have to understand that Colorado is flat, kind of. I mean, for the most part, it's hilly going through, when you get up around Castle Rock, then you kind of get a little taste of the mountains again. But for the most part, it's pretty much flat. Until you get over to the mountains is when it really starts to go. And then not only that, it's about 60 miles from Pueblo to Salida. Pueblo would have been your biggest town in order to get anything from. Second would have been Canyon City, because that would have been, like if you need something big or major, you're going to the major city. If not, you just go right here. So I'm pretty sure in riding that horse, these were special occasions in order to go get materials or parts or whatever they needed in order to build, because on food, unless they were running out, they would make sure that they had plenty of food. Okay, so like I said, it's a long story, but this is where I'm going to leave this video at. In the next video, I'm going to come and I'm going to start poking holes in all of this, and I'm going to show you that these guys, it's Deliverance Day, and they're the bitch. They're the little piggy. So, and I'm not sugarcoating this for anybody, because this is so fucking important you can't even understand it. So either help, fight for your country, fight for truth, or just sit on the sidelines. Until then, please, brothers and sisters, I hope that you fight. Find courage to know that we can bring an end to this. And I've given the keys to it. So I'm asking for friendships and help